Hey guys, good evening and welcome to our Q&A session that we do instead of our podcast. So this is our podcast number 8. Today we are taking the chance to answer a few of your questions that we received over the last couple of days. And first of all, thank you for handing in so many questions. We cannot answer all of them, but we'll try our best to at least answer 7, 8, maybe 10 if we're lucky, without making this too long. Maybe we'll do more than one session, and then we can answer more than one as well. So let me start maybe with an easy one. This question we received in Spanish, but it says so much as, where do you see yourself in 5 years time? And I think she means the JP team. So that's a very good question. In 5 years time, so by 2025, we will have our World Cup behind us, which is definitely a big milestone. And by 2025, we hope, if we continue on the path that we are on right now, I hope that J. Portman will be a medium-sized agency and consulting firm that is able to provide, like today, but in a greater scope, work in terms of marketing support, branding support, and really dive deep into the field of business consulting as well. That would be our 5-year plan. Hopefully by the time we are growing our team even further, we are at the moment 10 people, 10 guys, and yeah, I hope by the time in 5 years time we need a much bigger office, and we developed ourselves into a bigger agency and consulting firm. Possibly, if the chances are there. Of course, we are looking maybe to expand into neighboring countries. We could talk about Oman, which they have an amazing opportunity and amazing movement right now in terms of entrepreneurship, and many people starting their own business, very similar to what we see here in Qatar. So that's definitely a market worth looking into. So yeah, this is something that we could imagine where we are in 5 years time. Thank you for the question. Then another question was, how do you keep a strong presence in the market since less money is being spent on marketing? I guess that refers to the current situation with COVID-19 that is ongoing. It is true, we see less spending. Also, we see less spending in terms of advertisement. And on marketing, I mean, you could include of course staff salaries, and unfortunately we also see that not only here in Qatar but internationally, people lose their jobs, not only in the field of marketing but in general. So yes, we definitely see budget cuts on all fields, on all fronts. If we maybe dive into advertising spend, if maybe that question was more meant in that direction, advertising spend, I would say we see different behavior from our clients, but across the industry, that people, bigger companies in particular, are cutting back on budgets big time, but other, especially smaller companies, might see an opportunity depending on the industry they are in. Maybe they are lucky enough and can grow during that time. We are talking about delivery service, we are talking about online business, we are talking about fitness industry, health industry, consulting, service providers. So they are maybe in a position that they can grow right now, and definitely they are not cutting back on budget and cutting back on spending in terms of their advertisement. So it really depends on the industry that you're in, whether it makes sense to keep on spending on advertisement. And you say when you how do you still keep a strong presence in the market when less people spend money? That's a very positive thing as well for you if you are in a position where you can keep spending money on advertising or marketing, because less competition possibly online on a paid media field, and that might help you keep a strong position in the market and a strong presence. However, on an organic level, when we go away from the paid media side, organically, how you can keep a strong presence in the market, I think now more than ever is a great time to connect deeper with your audience, to go deep into those conversations one-on-one with your clients, with your audience. Try and take time to understand what they need, and to be there for them, that they remember you when times are getting better as well. This is really a time that we are experiencing right now, where people, I want to say, maybe have time now for things they didn't have time for before, to work on their brand, to work on their marketing, to create more content, to create valuable content, to share their knowledge. And luckily we see that a lot in here in Qatar and worldwide as well. That let me give you an example in the field of in the fitness field. Many gyms and home trainer and all people in that sector are using the time and using this chance to really offer classes for free that people can join from home, they can join online, and that's a great way to keep your audience engaged. And definitely people will remember when things get back to normal, who helped them during that time, and which online class they maybe visited, and who brought them joy in the evening times when things got a bit tough. And now maybe during Ramadan in particular, it's not easy. So, but that's not only for the fitness sector. There are many things that you can do right now. Unfortunately, you didn't mention what industry you're in, but otherwise, just try and bring as much value to your audience as possible. Go on one-on-one, go call them, Zoom them, check up on them, ask what is happening, how they are dealing with the situation, if there's anything that you can do right now, and try to connect with them as much as possible. Then we have a third question, which is sourcing the right investor. And sourcing the right investor is, I would say, it's a tricky one, because like from many different angles. First of all, what is the right investor? I think there's not such a thing as the right investor or someone who is right. It's just there's right for you, and there's right for me, and there's right for everyone else, but that might be complete different things. First of all, you need to clarify and make sure that you know what you want. What type of investor do you want? Do you want someone who is highly involved in your business? Do you want someone who just basically provides you with a cash injection but doesn't really care how you run the business? Is it someone who has maybe similar interests and can add really value to what you're doing? Bring some expertise to the table, who can properly develop the business further, develop the brand further, maybe expand with you together. These are all questions that you, I think, need to clarify first before going ahead and start looking for who's the right investor for you. And if you've done that, if you are clear on what kind of involvement you are looking for, then there are many options. Possibly not during COVID-19 and during that time right now, but I think it's been never easier to get investment than during this time. And during this time, I mean 2020, 2019, moving forward 2021, people are very willing to give chances to entrepreneurs and to support them on a private level. If you are talking about angel investors, people who see maybe an opportunity to invest in someone, but as well the whole business environment that we are in. There are many opportunities. From the top of my head, I can think of Qatar Development Bank here in Qatar. There are other banks who are willing to give out loans for certain sectors. We have the Qatar Business Incubation Center. Again, someone who is more than willing to support an idea to bring to the next level. I would say the opportunities are really there, but it really depends on what kind of involvement you're looking for. Looking internationally, beyond banks, beyond angel investors, beyond different support schemes, there was, or there still is, of course, the option of crowdfunding, depending if you have a product that you want to fund, maybe that you want to develop a prototype, etc. There are different options of crowdfunding that you could tap into or could think about. Networking events, just connect with people. Maybe there's always the opportunity to find someone that is maybe willing to invest in one way or another. If it doesn't need to be cash, maybe it's with the right connections to connect you to the right people to bring your business, your brand to the next level. Okay, coming to the next question, which is, which company is doing an outstanding marketing job besides the big players? That's a very, very good question. In particular, during that time, there are many companies who are trying to step up their game and be very creative in terms of content, in terms of advertisement. I have one favorite, however, that's a brand in the German market, so that will be maybe a bit difficult for some of you to understand or to find out, but I will mention it anyway. They are called True Fruits. It's a brand that basically sells products in the smoothie and juice market. Their marketing is brilliant, and why do I think it's brilliant? And this is something that everyone can definitely take something away from. They managed to combine a very informative way of marketing, meaning like around ingredients, how they grow their stuff, how they blend it, recipes. They're extremely transparent when it comes to their marketing as well. At the same time, they're extremely entertaining, and this is where I say maybe it might be a bit difficult or very difficult to impossible for someone who doesn't speak the language to understand, because they do quite a bit of jokes on the words itself that they're using, and this is a combination that, if possible, that I always recommend. If you can combine a very informative approach with some entertainment and making people laugh, if that's possible, then you will always have a great chance, combined with a good product or service, definitely. You will always have a great chance of reaching people, because there are two things that everyone is looking for when they are on Instagram, when they are on Facebook, on Twitter, on all the other platforms, if they're on TV, radio, whatsoever, is information or entertainment. And if you cover one of those, you are likely to be relevant. If you can combine both of those aspects, that's definitely a big plus. Because people will be able to connect in a different way when you can make them smile. I think we all have a brand or two in mind that, or maybe people in mind that provide immense value and can entertain us at the same time, and that's always something that is really valuable. What I would like to add to that is what they're doing very well is they really tailor their content to the audience and to the platform that they're communicating on. This is something that is really important, and something that every brand or company, as much as possible, should focus on. To be existent on as many platforms as possible, because I don't want to say you never know where your next customer is coming from, but basically you need to cater over a variety of platforms. social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those 5, 6, 7 platforms, podcasts for audio form, and podcasts in different ways, not only on one platform, but on Apple, on Android, on Spotify, on, I think Google has their own thing, SoundCloud, Amazon. There are many channels really, and people are listening from over those different platforms, and they consume information in a different way. So it's extremely important that you cater your message to the right audience. Definitely understand them, understand where they're coming from, not only geographically but from a understanding point, and then try to cater to them in the right way. So what do I mean by that? If someone is on, let's say, on LinkedIn used to be a very professional platform. It's slowly shifting to a more, I would say, content curation platform, very similar to maybe Facebook in the beginning. So where people are not only sharing their professional achievements anymore and are hunting for new job opportunities, but really share their career and their journey. So, but people, when they're on LinkedIn, they're in a different mindset. They're not looking for the next funny video like they are on TikTok or like they're on Instagram. So be aware of that and adapt your content, adapt your message, adapt the way you write, the way you speak. It's not right to create one piece of content, just throw it on all platforms. That's not going to work. So it's not going to work in the most ideal way. That's what I want to say. And this brand is doing an amazing job because they are communicating on a variety of platforms relevant to their audience, with relevant to the platform, and this is what I like about them, and their messaging is just on point. Always creative ideas, creative campaigns, are very close to what is happening from a trend point of view. So they have their opinion and people disagree with them, but I think personally this is what makes marketing and branding really great, and really something that you can connect with if you show edge and if you can really show what you stand for. That's definitely one brand, maybe a more international one, because I should not go to the big players, and I won't. A more international one is Vivo Life. Vivo Life is a UK-based supplement brand, completely plant-based, and they do an amazing job with their branding and their marketing as well. I would say from a brand point of view, they're extremely consistent when it comes to the services and products that they offer. So when I say they're completely plant-based, all of their products, of course, they are plant-based. All their protein powders and supplements and creatines, etc., is completely plant-based. Of course, this is what they promise and this is what they do. But for someone who takes care of those things, who cares about the environment possibly, who cares about being plant-based, etc., it is also important what kind of packaging you use. What do you stand for as a company? What do you stand for? And what they do brilliantly, all of their packaging it's not plastic, but it's composable something else. I don't know exactly what they're using, but it's biodegradable. So that is just in line with what they stand for. As well, there's one slogan on their website: with each purchase or with each order they plant a tree somewhere in the world. These are all messages that, if true or not true at the end of the day, or how accurate that is with the tree campaign, but they cater all to the same message, and that's, I think, extremely valuable and consistent. From a marketing point of view, they go big on influencer marketing. And I don't mean the kind of influence with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers on across those platforms, but I don't want to say use a micro influencer strategy, but micro to medium, so between, I would say, 15 to 100k, 1,000 followers. So, and they let those people speak about their products, about their brand. It's not any kind of influencers. They are all nutritionists, fitness, lifestyle blogger, plant-based people, like they are vegan themselves. So it's a very authentic messaging that they push out constantly. And it's, at the end of the day, they are selling a lifestyle, and they sell something that you want to be part of. And to top it off, they offer in their online shop merchandise. Again, that's all in line with their brand. That's all fair trade, and on top it looks very good. So for everyone who is going to the gym, etc., and orders for I don't know, 50, 60 euros, pounds, or 250 reals, their protein powder, they can throw in a t-shirt for 5 or 10 euros and kind of use that to wear it in the gym, and at the same time be a sort of advertisement for them. So that's just a very smart way and a very compact way on how they present themselves. Okay, very long answer for that question, but thank you for asking it. And then we have a few more that we can answer as well. What, according to you, is a company's biggest asset? That's an easy one for me, because I really think that the staff and your team is the biggest asset of a company, by far. No offense to any client or to any audience, but without your staff, you're basically nothing. You need your team around you, motivated, enthusiastic about what they're doing. Otherwise, they won't cater your clients well. That's something that I'm really passionate about, as a manager of 9 people now, that they need to be well. It's simple. You need to, in my opinion, understand what their worries are, what they care about, what is important to them, and just try and put them in the best possible position to be able to work for you, and to work for themselves at the end of the day. That's very, very important to me. And beside that, the biggest asset to a company at one stage is of course the internal knowledge of what they're doing, their process. Like, I would say the biggest asset beside our stuff is our process and how we work. This is something that is very hard to I don't want to say steal, but to copy from a competitive point of view, because you would need to take out each and every stuff, and possibly the manager himself to copy that process. And this is something that, in my opinion, a client buys into as well. It's not only the outcome, but it's the process and the way a company works and what they stand for. This is a very, very important asset to me as well. Okay, what else do we have? What are your thoughts on starting a business or signing a business agreement with a friend? Does the friendship or the partnership come in the way of each other? That's a very good one. Both of the companies, or J. Portman and another brand in Germany that I'm a partner of, both of them I started with friends of mine, good friends, and until today I don't regret any of that. I think it can become sometimes, obviously it can become tricky, but it's just important that it's like when you talk business with friends or with business partners at the same time, I think both need to understand at no time that this is something personal or this is something that goes against someone. At the end of the day, both of you should have the business interest and the success at heart when you talk about your brand. And at the end of the day, when things are working out nicely, then you can be happy together. But I think it is important that you're overall aligned on what the business should do and what should it stand for. There are different ways of getting there sometimes, and I think that's highly important that you disagree with each other and you discuss different ways of getting to the goal. However, the overall idea and what you stand for at the core of your company, in my opinion, must be aligned. It is very difficult if you have those foundational questions with your partner, with your friend, that you need to discuss every single time there is a business decision. That is something that I could not imagine that this would work out. Might be in some cases, but I can say that luckily for both of my friends that I run businesses with, we are aligned on the core of what we do and what we stand for and what we want to achieve, and that's extremely important. And then I'm happy to disagree along the way. That's more than normal, and it's something that really nurtures the business as well. That's a good one. A question on market saturation and how best to prove your product or service. Very good question. Market saturation is a tricky one in my opinion, because it's extremely hard to define when a market is saturated. I believe the one who asked the question comes from the fitness industry, and indeed we have had an unbelievable rise of gyms and CrossFit boxes and all fitness related here in Qatar, not recently, over the past years. And now in every other corner you will find a gym, a boxing studio, a normal gym, a high intensity training box, etc., etc. And that's definitely something that where the competition has increased immensely. However, my take on that is that the best one will survive, and there is a market saturation, definitely, and the gym is a very geographically tied in concept. Like, people, in my opinion, wouldn't go out of their way in an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to go to a gym. It's always something that you try and have on your way to incorporate it as much as possible in your day. However, I would say that the best in the market survives. And what is the best? What do I mean? The one who provides the best service for the best price, who really engages their audience and people can enjoy going to. I would stick on that example really to the gym and fitness sector, because it's so distinct market saturation if you're talking about different industries. So let me stick on the gym and fitness sector here. So if you are able to really engage your audience and people love to come to you, then in my opinion, because it's such a personal thing and it's such a big part of many people's life, and increasingly, then I would say you have a very, very good chance to survive in the market. Even if you're new, even if you're planning maybe to just open, if you do things differently and you have an audience who supports that or is looking for that connection, then you will always have a chance, in my opinion. However, from personal experience as well, it's fitness and especially class-based things where people don't work out alone just on their machines and with their dumbbells, but the class-based systems like CrossFit, like high intensity classes, like body pump, etc., etc., highly depends on the crowd around you and on the coach as well. But if the crowd around you, friends, people are very like-minded, the coach can make it fun and can create a really enthusiastic environment, then that's a very good recipe for a gym, for a box, in my opinion. On the second part, on how best to prove your product or service, very similar answer. In my opinion, whoever is closest to the customer or to the audience will win. You it's not that we as business owners judge how good our services are. That's just not how it works. You always need to hear the feedback of your clients. That's of utmost priority. You need to listen and then adapt and ask what you can do better the next time. So when you're at the start of something, try, don't overthink. Try, move ahead with as little cost as possible, and then always listen and adapt, listen and adapt. Try something new, listen and adapt. This is something how I would always move ahead, and always have been moving until today. And I would say overall I didn't do too bad in the service industry, but also on a product-based approach, where we always try to push out a sample, try to push out an MVP as quick as possible, and then just get feedback on what people like, what they don't like. Of course, it's the bigger your resources, the bigger you can go in terms of market research and performing all sorts of analysis. But if you're a bit low on budget, ask people about the serious opinion and what it is. Maybe stay away from asking your best friends, because they mightn't be as honest if they don't want to hurt you. But ask people who are honest with you and how they think and it's not about them being a business professional, it's them being a potential user, and if they can imagine something like that would work in the market or not. This is what I would say to always do first when you launch a new product. Try not to put too much costs in it, and get feedback as quick as possible. Okay, I think for today that's enough questions. We have a few more. I said we don't get to all of them, but if the feedback is good on this one, like I just said, we might do another Q&A, possibly a live Q&A, where I'm more than happy to do more of that. Take care, stay safe everyone, and it was good fun doing something like this for episode number 8. Bye bye. Hey guys, I hope you liked that video. Oh, thank you. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please give the video a like, subscribe to our channel for more interesting and inspiring content. Comment down below what you would like us to post. Don't miss out on any of our videos by turning on the notifications on our channel. Somewhere here, I guess. You can find all our social media links in the description below. Make sure to keep yourself updated with our content. See you in the next video.